So my name's Johnny. I'm an engineer from Manchester. I started losing my hair when I was 18 years old and I'm now 30. In that time I've had 2 hair transplants from Turkey. I first noticed that I was losing my hair when I was getting ready for a night out in Halls in Liverpool. Had a mirror facing me, and then I made the mistake of putting a mirror behind my head and all I saw was scalp, and my heart absolutely sank. And that's the day that the comb over started. And following that, I thought there's got to be something that can be done. So I found fibres. I became addicted to fibres. I couldn't go anywhere out socialising without my fibres. It became a nightmare, especially on holiday with the humidity and wearing fibres. It made your scalp itchy. It was horrible. So I decided to take the plunge and go to a recommended hair transplant clinic in Istanbul in Turkey. My expectations were absolutely up there, and you know, the problem is that I was unlucky in the sense that I didn't have a lot of donor area to transplant onto the top of my head. So the first session they could only do the hairline. So I had a bunch of hair here and I still had a bald head here. So that made me even more self-conscious. So I ended up going for a second transplant just so they could cover my crown with even less donor area. So I've ended up with 2 hair transplants with uneven hair on my scalp. You can still see the scalp, and it was just a bit of a nightmare. It's so disheartening. I remember on my way back from my second hair transplant in Turkey, I was in the taxi with a guy from Brooklyn in New York, and we sort of knew that because we'd experienced our first transplant, we sort of knew that we weren't going to get the result that we really wanted, which was dense, thick hair. So we were joking around and I came up with the idea. I said, I wonder if there's any tattoo artists out there who could actually fill in the gaps. And he said, yeah, I think I've heard of something like that. I completely forgot about it because I thought, I'm not going to do anything like that. You know, I don't think it's probably a very niche thing. I'll never find anyone that could do that. Waiting for my second hair transplant to grow out, could still see my scalp. Pretty disappointed, especially with the money that I'd spent. And I just thought, I've seen these videos of SMP and people who were completely bald, getting these buzz cut like tattoos. And I thought, I wonder if they could actually tattoo in between my transplanted hairs and make my hair look really dense like I really wanted it to from the results in Turkey. The reason that I wanted to get SMP really was, one, for the density to improve my hair transplant, but I was covered in scars from where they'd taken the hairs from my donor area. Especially when I get a tan, I'd end up with lots of little dots and it made me so self-conscious. So I wanted those filling in, and I wanted the full thick buzz cut look. After my first treatment, I couldn't believe it. I was on cloud 9. I was walking on air. Everyone was saying to me, "That's amazing! I can't believe the result." And that was only my first treatment. I'm on my 4th treatment now, and each time I just say to myself, "It can't get any better than this. It can't get any better than this." And each time it does. It's a joy coming down to get my treatment, to have my sessions. Just a great atmosphere, and I can't recommend it enough, and I hope that your journey is as good as mine, because I feel so lucky to have found, well, Skalptec.